Premier and President Sahlawork honor Ethiopian athletics team. Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz regions agree to economically integrate. Addis Ababa, now the news in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed and President Sahlawork Zewde celebrated Ethiopian athletes, coaches, and officials that participated in the 43rd edition of the IAAF World Cross Country Championship at State Dinner. The athletes achieved a great victory, returning to Ethiopia with 5 gold, 3 silver, and 3 bronze medals, taking first place among 63 countries. Leta Teresa has more on this.
Awards and recognition given to Ethiopian athletes who registered successful results on the 43rd cross-country world champion and national pairs. On the competition, 63 countries have participated. Winning the game, Ethiopia got 11 medals, which makes the East African country stand first, both in Africa and the globe. On the awarding ceremony, President of the Ethiopian Athletics Federation, Athlete Daratu Tulu, said the recognition given to the athletes has an implication of government's attention to sport. Beyond demonstrating the government's commitment to sport, especially to athletics, the award implies that both the government and the public will support us if we teach for full sport. Our athletes' commitment to realize our ambition through hard working, be it in team or individual, as per our Premier's synergy philosophy, is a good move. She urged the athletes to bequeath their exemplary work and victory to the generation to come, adding making the necessary preparation for the next competition is also vital. President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Sahlawork Zewde, has expressed her gratitude to the athletes for their contribution in promoting their country. Sports plays a key role in promoting a given country. Let us get united to build our country. You should secure more victories. On the occasion, Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed said Ethiopia had won the same competition many times, but the current one is unique.
Ethiopia was standing first or second before in the same race. But what makes this year's competition unique is that we understood it is the secret of synergy philosophy, which enabled our country fly its flag at the world stage. Previously, we ensured that we could defeat colonizers through synergy. We did the same in athletics. The only way to development, peace, and building a democratic system is the synergy philosophy.
Dr. Abiy called on Ethiopians to get united so as to alleviate poverty.
Although the journey we started towards poverty reduction and nation-state building seems difficult, I hope that we will be an example for African countries in development, stability, and democracy, as we did in athletics. To secure this victory, high commitment is required.
The Oromo and Benishangul Gumuz people public-to-public joint forum was held in Asosa town under the theme Long-Standing Togetherness for Sustainable, Peaceful Coexistence and Economic Integration. Aklilu Gabru reports.
The Oromo people and the nations and nationalities who reside in Benishangul Gumuz regional state do have long-standing peaceful coexistence. People of the two neighboring regions have also various cultures and values in common. Public-to-public joint forum that was aimed to strengthen the relation of the two people was held in Asosa town of Benishangul Gumuz regional state. 5-year strategic document that ensures sustainable peace and economic integration of the two regions was presented for the crowd. On the event, President of the Benishangul Gumuz regional state, Ashadli Hassan, urged people of the two regional states to work in unison to realize the ever-started reform agendas. President Ashadli added that the regional government is working to ensure equality of all citizens who live in the region.
In the Benishangul Gumuz ክልል መንግስት የክልላችን ህዝቦች ዲሞክራሲያዊና ሰብአዊ መብት በተሟላ ሁኔታ
As Benishangul Gumuz region, we always believe that our region is where everybody should live peacefully. We also believe that no one should displace from our region. It is also our obligation to realize this. Therefore, we will strongly work to sustain peace and security of our region.
President of the Oromia Regional State Lamma Magarsa on the conference remarked that ideal differences should be solved on table round discussion.
Our unity is our common benefits, so working for common peace and security of our regions is very important. Concerning the previous security problems, a lot of jobs were done in terms of taking corrective measures in both sides.
President Lama noted that peace is prerequisite for prosperity, so peace should be ensured across the nation to speed up developmental endeavors. The president also appreciated the action taken by Benishangul Gumuz Regional State to start a Afan Oromo in some schools of the districts, which have vital role for public-to-public relation. Minister of Peace Mufariat Kamil, for her part, underscored that the fate of Ethiopia belongs to the joint effort of its citizens. Mufariat added, acting in unison is the right way to mitigate the ever-existing security problems.
There was no people-to-people conflict between the two regions. It will not also be expected in the future. But fighting against groups who want to create conflicts between the two people is a must. Whether we believe or not, we have common fate. No one is benefited or hurt alone, she said.
Participants of the forum also appreciated the initiatives taken by the two regional states to economically integrate people of the two regions. Aklilu Gebru, OBN Asosa.
The House of People's Representatives, in its 32nd regular meeting of fourth working year, listened to agriculture sector's last 8 months performance report and ratified various draft resolutions. Olma Bain has a story.
The House of People Representatives has held its 32nd regular session of fourth working year. The House listened to 8 months work performance report of 2019 of Ministry of Agriculture. Minister of Agriculture Umar Hussein said that 12.7 million hectares of land were covered with different productions in 2018 and 19 fiscal year, adding that more than 300 million quintals are also expected to be collected. Umar noted that his ministry has been striving to enhance the product and productivity of agriculture sector through providing selected seeds to farmers.
In this fiscal year, 20 billion birr was allocated to purchase different chemicals and fertilizers. It was also fully implemented into rounds. Fertilizers demand collected from regions in the country is 1.27 billion tons. In the past 8 months, 1.2 billion tons were already purchased. This means 80% was already done. 1 million quintals of selected seeds were also purchased in the past 8 months out of 2 million quintals that was planned.
Umar highlighted that supplying both fertilizers and selected seeds to farmers were not successfully done due to information gap and a problem of integration between the federal government and regions. He also underscored that the government has been working to expand irrigation developments in order to scale up the product and the productivity of agriculture sector. He also pointed out limitations that have been observed in the sector.
The main problem of this sector is that the budget allocated for it and its importance are not balanced. The other problem is that NGOs are not actively engaged in this sector.
Umar stressed that they have been strongly working to transform the sector.
We will work hard to improve the sector based on key points that were already identified. In doing so, we can improve the sector.
Members of the House have also raised various suggestions that strengthen the report.
The National Electoral Board of Ethiopia held consultation with civil society organizations on the upcoming elections scheduled to take place next year. As part of the preparation for the election, the Electoral Board has drafted a directive on electorate's code of conduct and citizenship in order to boost the participation of the people and conduct democratic election. Latateres has a story.
The National Electoral Board of Ethiopia organized the workshop to gather inputs and finalize the manual aimed at enhancing knowledge, capacity, and information about the voters' rights and voting process, among others. During the workshop, chairperson of the National Electoral Board of Ethiopia, Burtukan Mideksa, said the manual is part of the preparation the Electoral Board is undertaking for the upcoming national election. Having such kind of workshops with the civic societies that present huge number of people is crucial for the board to know the limitation of the draft and grasp ideas that will be added on the manual for its fulfillment, she noted.
በተመለከተ በትክክል ከተሰራ የኛ በምርጫ አስፈጻሚነት ወይም ምርጫን በማደራጀት የምንሰራው ስራ
We consider that civic societies are very hopeful for our efforts to have free and democratic election. That is why we prepared this workshop. You can teach a lot of people under you about civics and voters education through the manual. Burtukan added that it is the responsibility of civic societies to use the manual and capacitate the public about their rights and responsibilities. Originator of the manual, Getachew Asafa, said the manual will narrow the gap observed in the content of the previous manual.
ይዘቱ ጥሩ ማኑዋል ነበር በፊቱም ግን ቀደም እንደገለጽኩት በዋናነት በተደራሽነቱ ላይ የተወሰነ ሊሚቴሽን ነበረው.
The previous manual has some gaps in its content, as it did not include chapters about the role of representative institutions, and it is also does not match with our current electoral law.
Some participants on the occasion commented that the manual should be prepared in many languages and be inclusive of people with disability. They further stressed the need for completion of the manual soon. The National Electoral Board of Ethiopia has been carrying out various activities to conduct free, neutral, and democratic election in the country.
Minister of Urban Development and Construction, Jantrar Abai, said due attention should be given to stop illegal construction in towns. The minister has briefed the media on the issue. Olkawa Wandemo presents.
Urban Development and Construction Ministry has briefed media concerning works done since reform in the ministry. Minister of Urban Development and Construction, Jantrar Abai, while briefing media, said the construction of illegal houses in towns and cities are hindering the development and the standard of Ethiopian towns. All should work in collaboration to stop the construction of illegal houses in our towns, especially government organizations, federal and regional government officials, and all stakeholders should participate actively in fighting this activity. It is hindering our development plan in our towns, so we have to work on stopping the construction of illegal houses. The ministry also underscored that many works have been done in supporting the sustainable development of towns and cities of the country. We are strongly working on supporting our towns' development. The World Bank has also supporting this program. Now, works have been finalized to start more than 1,700 development projects in our towns. Jantrar also stressed that many works have been done in facilitating and creating job opportunities for the youth of the country in different perspectives, adding that the ministry has been preparing draft proclamation to handle the problems of employees' residential home.
Italian Minister of Defense Elisabetta Trenta arrived in Finfine last night for an official visit to Ethiopia. Upon arrival at Bole International Airport, she was received by Engineer Aisha Mohammed, Ethiopia's Minister of Defense. During her visit, Trenta is expected to meet with senior officers of the National Defense Force to discuss various bilateral issues. The two countries are also expected to sign various cooperation agreements, according to the Ministry of Defense. Oromo University announced that it has been working to restore Afrankalo and Hubanna Gada system through engaging the surrounding community. Lata Teresa has a story.
With Oromo University, Institute of Gada Studies is embarked on further studies about the Oromo Gada system and awareness raising. Dr. Gamechu Magarsa said there is strong ties between Oromo livelihood and the Gada system.
Gada jechani waan Oromoon isa malee Oromoon taane jechaan Gada means something that Oromo could not be Oromo without it.
He underscored that Oromo people have greater responsibility in building Ethiopia being with other people of the country. The social sciences scholar Professor Iskel Gabbisa stressed the importance of the Gada system to framing the future ambition of Oromo people and nation at large.
Gaafa waan aadaaf gadaa Oromoo sana baruu jalqabnuti if barre.
The Oromo Gada enabled us to get rid of the long-lasting problem. At its base for our cultural unit, there will be no other way than Gada system enable us to plan and ambition of Oromo people and the country.
He recommended the possibility to amend Gada laws when it seems necessary. A social sciences scholar who is also a historian at Aramaya University, Dr. Gautama Emana, said the Institute of Gada Studies is conducting researches and studies to enable the society be served by the system of Gada.
The Institute of Gada Study is playing a key role to enable Oromo people administrate itself by its own philosophy.
Vice President for Administrative and Academic Affairs with Haramaya University, Professor Jelan Waliya said Gada is vital for the future fate of Oromo people.
Gada system should be the way through which the Oromo people getting out of the problem it faced.
Members of the Gada Council and followers of Afrankalo and Humbana told OBN their readiness to revitalize the Gada system using the awareness they got from the scholars' explanation.
That brings us to the end for the news edition. Thank you for watching and have a nice time with the remaining OBN's programs.